Okay, I'm back at my computer and I wanted to talk about this game that we play in Spanish called Esa es mi palabra. You could call it mi palabra as well. But the core of the game starts with a vocabulary list. The vocabulary list could be short or long depending on how much time you have, how many students you have, and the length of time that you want the game to be. So adjust that with some experimentation. But generally, the vocabulary list should have varying degrees of familiarity with the students. You don't want to spring a brand new list of vocabulary on the students, nor do you want them to know all of these words cold. There should be all levels of familiarity with the words. So some words they'll know very well, some words they would have only heard before, and some of them they might recognize. The premise of the game is that students or small teams of students of 2 or 3, again, depending on how long you want the game to go, how fast you want it to be, the pacing and the length of the game. Each team identifies words that they know, and thereby they claim that word. The other teams have to listen to the team that's claiming the word so that they don't try to claim that word later. In this example, the blue team claims the word tiburon and they identify it, and for the duration of the game, that word belongs to the blue team. Each team will then get a turn to claim a word they know. What this does is it encourages them to read through the list to find words that they know. So in this case, the red team has now claimed the word cerdo. That word belongs to them for the duration. So a modification to the game, since I'm suggesting that the goal of the game is to really to get students to read Spanish words, to learn to pronounce them, as well as learning vocabulary. But you want to get them comfortable reading Spanish. Here, the Verde team has claimed rata, so they're accumulating points. They're now tied with Azul and Rojo at a point apiece. And Amarillo comes in, claims a word, Morado. Here's Team Anaranjado. And the teams start to accumulate points. Eventually, when they misidentify a word, they lose their opportunity to gain a point. Now, what might also happen is that a team tries to claim another's word. Now, in that instance, let's say Team Rojo wants to try to claim serpiente in subsequent rounds. Obviously, serpiente, that word belongs to the blue team, Team Azul, and they would not be able to claim that point. Now, it's up to the responsibility of Team Azul to know that another team has tried to claim their word. And when they do, you give them the point. You give the blue team, Team Azul, the point for identifying that someone tried to claim their word. So that's one way that you can gain points as well. So here's an example of that. Let's say Team Rojo wants to claim the word llama, and we see it's already been identified by the blue team, Team Azul, and the points would go to the blue team, provided the blue team is listening to the red team calling their word. If that's not the case, then the next team that calls it out, let's say it's Team Morado, they say, oh, that word's been called before. If blue doesn't catch it, then other teams have an opportunity to claim the points. And as the game goes along, the level of words here start to get more difficult because they tend to go for the easy ones. And that's what you want them to do. You want them to claim the easy ones, to gain fluency with the easy ones. And with the hard ones, you have to be content that they will gain familiarity with them, either reading them or hearing other people try to pronounce them or trying to pronounce them themselves. But as the words get more difficult, you can give extra points for that. They start to recognize that some animals haven't been called, and as the list narrows down, they can use the process of elimination to determine some of these words. And again, if someone else's word gets called, instead of the 2 points that they would get, you would steal the 2 points. So you're stealing 2 points at a time. And the tally can change quite a bit as the game progresses to this level. You can also go to 3 points or 5 points or whatever you need to do. You tally it up and you can determine a winner at the end. Hope that makes sense and hope you enjoy playing the game. If you need more vocabulary lists, then I can provide those as well. Thank you and see you in the next one.